Welcome to Deep Dive with ITS.
Ever feel like sometimes you're just drowning in tech jargon? It's like all these buzzwords flying around.
Yeah.
Managed services, next level solutions. Like, what does it even mean?
Right.
So you're not alone if you're kind of lost in that sea of tech jargon.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're diving into today.
Okay.
This company, ITS, they say they offer these next level managed services.
Okay.
We're going to unpack that.
Sounds good.
Figure out what it actually means.
Especially when we look at how International Turnkey Systems is really kind of shaking things up.
Let's get to the specifics here.
Okay.
What are these magical services they're offering?
All right, let's hear it.
So they've got this service web portal.
Okay.
Sounds very futuristic.
It does sound fancy.
I'm picturing some sci-fi movie stuff.
Right. Holograms and...
Yeah. What is it?
Well, it's actually a lot simpler than it sounds.
Okay.
Think of it like a one-stop shop. You've got your dashboard, you can track everything, all your IT needs, you want to report an issue, boom, it's right there. Need support, you can request it all in one place.
Yeah.
It's really about making things easier, being transparent.
So no more digging through a million emails to figure out what's going on.
Hopefully not. Yeah, no more email chains.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's probably scratching the surface.
Right. That's just one thing. They've got a whole bunch of services.
Okay.
Ranging from the very technical, we're talking infrastructure services,
Okay.
proactive system monitoring, and then more hands-on stuff, like they have something called on-site fulfillment.
On-site fulfillment.
Yeah.
What is that?
So imagine you need to replace, let's say, a server, some piece of hardware.
Right.
Instead of you having to find a technician, schedule everything.
Yeah.
And that's not all.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, yeah, they do all the nitty-gritty stuff, too. The maintenance, configuration, even those software updates that everybody loves to hate.
The worst.
Right. But they make sure that your technology is running smoothly. It's secure.
What's fascinating to me, they're not just throwing a bunch of tech solutions at you and hoping for the best.
Yeah.
They're really positioning themselves as a partner, really trying to understand what makes a business tick, what their pain points are.
And you can see that in their clients, right? We're
Yeah.
talking banks, government agencies, some seriously big players.
Absolutely.
No small fry. Right.
Not at all.
And they've broken their approach down into these different service categories.
Okay.
And one that really jumped out at me was infrastructure as a service, or IaaS, because, of course, what's tech without another acronym, right?
It's kind of like outsourcing your entire IT department, but to the pros.
Instead of having to deal with all that in-house,
Exactly.
you're handing it off to someone else.
You're letting the experts handle it.
Think about it. All those servers, that data storage, your whole network, everything that keeps your business running.
All that behind-the-scenes stuff, that can be a real headache.
It's mission critical, but let's be honest, managing it can be a full-time job.
More than a full-time job sometimes, yeah.
And it's not always something that every company has the resources or even the desire to handle themselves, right?
So they're taking all of that off your plate.
All of it, maintenance, disaster recovery, the whole 9 yards.
Making sure your systems are up and running no matter what.
You free up so much time and energy to focus on the stuff that really matters, the stuff that's core to your business.
So you can actually focus on your goals.
Exactly.
And I think a great example of that is proactive monitoring.
Okay, so tell me more about that.
So let's say there's a potential server failure brewing.
Oh.
Instead of waiting for it to crash your system and cause chaos.
So they're like the IT equivalent of those folks who can sense earthquakes before they happen.
That's a great way to put it.
Preventing those major disruptions before they even have a chance to impact your business.
Exactly.
That's got to be a game changer for a lot of businesses.
Oh, absolutely. And not just in terms of keeping things running smoothly, but think about the cost savings.
Yeah, downtime can be incredibly expensive.
And the peace of mind.
Knowing that someone's always got your back.
This is the one that's maybe the most head-scratcher, and that is Workforce as a Service.
Ah, yes, WAAS.
WAAS.
They're presenting it as this way to streamline your hiring process,
Right.
Get access to
Global talent pool.
this huge pool of talent all over the world,
Yeah.
and kind of eliminate
The headache.
all those headaches that come with
Right.
traditional recruitment. Okay, so they've got the infrastructure covered with IaaS. They're helping find the right people with WAS.
And we can't forget about security.
Oh, right. Because what good is all this amazing tech if it's not secure, right?
Exactly. And ITS knows that, which is why they have a whole division dedicated to information security services, or SOS.
Okay, so SOS in this context is all about keeping the bad guys out, right?
Exactly. It's about protecting your business from cyber threats. They take this multi-layered approach, which means they're not just slapping on some antivirus software and calling it a day.
Okay, so what kind of layers are we talking about?
Well, they offer something called penetration testing. So basically, they simulate real-world cyber attacks.
On your actual systems.
Yeah, but don't worry, it's all ethical.
Ethical hacking.
Exactly. They're essentially acting as the bad guys to find vulnerabilities before the actual bad guys do.
So it's like a controlled breach.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to find the weak spots in your defenses before someone else can exploit them.
Okay, so they try to break in so they can tell you how to stop someone from actually breaking in.
Precisely. They also do these things called vulnerability assessments.
And what are those?
Think of it like a health checkup for your IT infrastructure.
Like an annual physical.
Exactly. They're looking for any potential weaknesses in your systems, anything that could be exploited, and then they give you recommendations for how to fix it.
So it's all about being proactive, getting ahead of those potential threats.
Absolutely.
But what about companies that need more than just assessments and testing? What if they need help actually managing their entire security operation?
Got that covered too. They offer what's called CISO services.
CISO.
Yeah, it stands for Chief Information Security Officer.
Oh, right. So they're essentially providing companies with their own virtual CISO.
Exactly. It's like having a top-notch security expert on call 24/7.
Which is huge because not every company, especially smaller ones, can afford to have a full-time CISO on staff.
Exactly.
That's got to be a game changer for a lot of businesses.
Oh, absolutely. And the best part is constantly staying ahead of the curve. They're always monitoring the threat landscape, researching new technologies, updating their methodologies. They're always one step ahead of the bad guys.
So they're like the cybersecurity version of like a trend forecaster?
That's a great analogy. They're always anticipating what's next, which means their clients are always prepared.
And it's not just about, protecting yourself. They also help you navigate all those data privacy rules and regulations. Make sure you're doing things the right way.
Okay, so it's like having this whole team of security experts, they're watching your back all the time, making sure your data's safe.
Right, giving you that peace of mind.
Okay, that's huge.
And in a world where these cyber threats are becoming more and more sophisticated every single day,
Oh, absolutely.
having that kind of expertise on call is, it's invaluable.
Yeah.
They're not just providing technology, they're selling peace of mind.
Right.
They want to be seen as this...
The trusted partner.
Yes, the trusted partner that can handle any technological challenge.
Right.
No matter how big, small, complex.
And they're not shy about saying that, are they?
No.
I noticed they really emphasize the whole global reach award-winning thing throughout this document.
Yeah, no, that's a really good observation. And I think
Yeah.
that's one of the things we always want to be looking for, right?
Well,
It's not just what they offer, it's how they present themselves.
Right.
And so highlighting that global presence, all of their accolades and awards, they're trying to position themselves as a major player.
Like they've arrived.
They've arrived, exactly.
Yeah.
We're a global force in the tech industry.
It's a good look.
It is, yeah.
One thing I did find interesting, though,
Yeah.
was this section on DevOps.
Okay.
And how they talk about this breaking down barriers between teams and this
Yeah, collaboration.
collaboration.
And that's where things, I think, get even more interesting. Because
Okay.
you're right. DevOps is all about creating a more collaborative and efficient way of working.
Yeah.
Especially in software development.
Yeah. Okay, I'll be honest. DevOps sounds kind of intimidating.
I get it.
Can you break it down for those of us who aren't exactly tech experts?
Absolutely. So traditionally, you had your software developers.
Right.
They'd build something and then just toss it over to the operations team
Right.
and say, here you go, deal with it.
Right, like figure it out.
Exactly. DevOps is all about saying, hey, let's stop doing that. Let's get rid of that wall between the teams and just all work together.
So instead of two separate teams, it's more like one big team.
Exactly. It's all about collaboration, making things automatic, and continuous improvement, throughout that entire process of developing software.
Okay, so it's a more holistic view.
Exactly. And for you, the listener, what that means is smoother, faster updates to your software. Less downtime, less headaches.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah. They talk about using Agile methodologies and having certified Scrum Masters on staff.
Okay.
Basically, they're bringing structure and collaboration to this whole world of software development and actually getting it out there to people, which can be a huge change for businesses that are used to doing things the old way, the kind of messy way.
Yeah, let's just throw it at the wall and see what sticks.
Exactly. This
Yeah.
is more like having a really good recipe for success.
Okay, so less chaos, more strategy.
Exactly. And it's not just about the software development part.
Really?
This whole idea of working together and being efficient seems to be built into everything they do with managed services.
Okay, so it's really ingrained in their approach.
Yeah, it's part of their DNA, I guess you could say.
I see. And that brings us back to this idea of taking it to the next level.
Right.
Maybe it's not about any one specific thing,
Mhm.
but more about this bigger picture approach to IT.
Exactly. Bringing all these different elements together
Yeah, making it all work smoothly.
seamlessly. And that suggests a level of expertise and security that you don't see everywhere.
That's true,
Yeah.
especially with financial institutions. They need that extra layer of security.
Absolutely.
It shows they really understand the ins and outs of that world.
And the challenges that come with it.
Exactly.
And let's be real, banks are super careful about who they trust.
They don't mess around.
No, they don't. It's not just something they're doing internally. It's
Right.
something they see as
Spending too.
to their clients and how they work with their clients.
So it's less about us versus them.
Exactly.
So we're all in this together.
We're partners. We're in this together.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So they really are pushing this whole trusted partner narrative.
absolutely.
They're not just a vendor. They want to be, like you said,
Right.
part of the team.
An extension of your team. Exactly.
Let's dig into some of the specifics here.
Okay. Okay.
We've thrown around this term IaaS a couple of times.
Right.
Infrastructure as a service.
Hmm.
I feel like there's probably more to it than meets the eye, though.
There is, yeah. They're taking it a step further. They're offering to design, build,
Really?
optimize your entire technology infrastructure.
So it's not just
Yeah.
fixing the problems, it's
Preventing them.
making sure they never even happen.
Exactly.
Wow.
For example, one of the things they offer under IaaS is technical management, they call it.
Okay.
And when you actually look at what they're including under that umbrella, it's pretty extensive.
Okay.
I mean, you're talking about capacity planning, installation, and upgrades, overseeing day-to-day operations, performance analysis, fine-tuning. I mean, it's
Wow,
it's a lot.
they're acting as the company's entire IT department.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, they are
It's
really.
a lot of responsibility.
It is a lot of responsibility, and it really,
Yeah.
reinforces this idea of them as this
Trusted.
this trusted partner, this extension of your team.
Let's shift gears slightly
Okay.
and talk about their development services,
Yeah.
or as they call it, DaaS.
Of course.
This is where we really see their approach to project management and software development.
Right.
And man, do they let the jargon fly.
Yeah, this is where they really.
I'm seeing Agile, I'm seeing Scrum.
CMI 5?
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot, but I mean,
What does it all mean?
well, don't worry, we'll unpack it.
Okay.
These terms, I mean, they might sound a little intimidating, but they're really just specific methodologies and standards that are used in software development.
So they're just trying to say, hey, we're speaking your language.
We know what we're doing.
We get it.
We get it.
Yeah.
We understand the challenges
Okay.
of building modern software.
Right.
And they're trying to, demonstrate their expertise, build confidence. They specifically call out SLA-based services as opposed to resource-based.
Right.
And they highlight that their project managers are Scrum Master PMP certified.
Okay. So
And these might seem like small details,
they're
but
trying to head off the questions before they're even asked
they're addressing very specific concerns that a lot of companies have.
about whether the project will be done on time and on budget.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Very strategic. You look at that section that's literally titled About International Turnkey Systems.
Right.
And it's like a highlight reel.
Yeah.
Just showcasing all of their achievements and their geographic reach, their R&D capabilities.
It's like, don't you know who we are?
Exactly. We're a big deal.
Yeah.
We're not just some regional player. We're a global force.
It's working, though. I mean,
It seems to be.
they're getting attention.
They're like a one-stop shop for all your tech needs.
Exactly. And I think what's really impressive is how they tailor their approach to each individual business.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
Not at all. They really take the time to understand what makes each business tick, what their unique challenges and goals are, and then they build a customized plan around that.
It's like having a personalized tech strategy session, but on an ongoing basis.
Exactly. And that level of personalized attention, combined with their deep expertise, it's invaluable in today's fast-paced digital world.
It really is. Well, I think we've given our listeners a lot to think about today.
Hopefully we've demystified the world of managed services a bit. So go check them out. You can check out their website.
It's all there.
All the details.
And they're on social media, too.
Yep. And until next time, happy diving.
And we'll see you on our next deep dive.